Hey, Jonny Moseley here, taking you behind the scenes of Warren Miller's latest film, Future Retro, with pro Big Mountain freerider and Montana native, Parkin Costain. Hey, Parkin, what's going on?
How's it going, man? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well. I'm really looking forward to talking with you. You know, I got introduced to you via your win at the Kings and Queens of Corbett, which was amazing. You did that big double back into Corbett's couloir, stuck it, skied it clean, did some like a rodeo off the kicker at the bottom.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. I was stoked with the way that event went. It was like a great way to sort of like February throughout the rest of the season is kind of where the season really takes off. And from doing well in that event to then heading straight to shoot with you guys was pretty all time. I was stoked.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. Incredible segment in this year's movie from Montana, particularly a lot of action on Lone Mountain. Tell us a little bit about, Moonlight Basin and Lone Mountain and the relationship. I skied up there for the first time this year.
Yeah, so Big Sky just kind of has it all. Like you can ski off 360 degrees of the peak. Little section of that is all backcountry, but you can head right back into the resort, and it's just got kind of everything to offer. I spend a ton of my time over in Moonlight, and I started hanging out there before I even had a relationship with them, even like 10 years ago. And I remember bringing my grandpa up there for a ski event where I was competing on the headwaters, some of their like super sick, gnarly north facing lines that stay good all season long. And it was sick because my grandpa, 83 years old, could watch me shred these lines, compete as like a little Grom, 14 years old, and then get to rip some really smooth groomers all the way back down to the base area. So it's been a super cool resort to kind of spend the last few years at, and I'm stoked to see what I can do there in the future.
All right, so you start, doing well in big mountain contests. You get yourself in a TGR movie. You're making your way up, and now this is your first Warren Miller film. I'm assuming when they said they were coming to town, you were like, I got some lines I want to ski. And you kind of mapped it out in your mind, like this is my Warren Miller moment. Is that accurate?
Definitely, man. I was actually blown away. Like everyone worked so well together, like from filmers to the resort being down with basically anything I suggested. It was really sick. I got to check off like 3 new lines that I hadn't gotten to ski all season, and a few of those I've actually never been able to ski just because they're not quite in condition like year round, and somehow the weekend that Warren Miller was there and the right people were standing around, we got to do things that I wasn't quite expecting. I think I got a little couloir line, which is this super gnarly kind of in the middle of summer. It looks like it's just a straight down cliff, like no way you could ski it, but it fills in just enough where you've got big couloir right off the top of Lone Peak, which anyone can go shred. It's super wide open, nice, fun, fast line. But right next to it, there's just the gnarliest, tight, rocky, super jagged couloir that I'd never found my way down. But right as these guys showed up, someone made it happen. And it was super sick to work my way down that and like not fall because it's so sketchy, man. But it was super fun. And then I think we checked another one off the list called Donkey Slot. I saw there's like a super rad shot in the film, I think, of from the trim. You can see the shot of pointing it down this little couloir and then like mandatory just like 10 or 15 foot air out, but the snow in that was perfect. It was like unreal. So it was super fun shredding around the resort for a few days.
All right, the segment is amazing. I mean, it looks like you guys had great conditions, and then it wasn't just the young guns like you and the Lovelies, but you had the old guys out there, the Scott Schmidt and the Egan brothers. Tell me a little bit about your relationship with, say, Scott Schmidt, for example.
Yeah, so the minute I started, like I made a little partnership with Moonlight Basin a few years back, and I started to hear around town that Scott Schmidt was also involved, and that was just like mind-blowing to me. That guy's such a legend, and it was super, super sick to meet him for the first time. And from day one, watching him ski, I don't think I've seen anyone ski smoother than that guy. Like, I don't think he's ever had a knee injury in the 50, 60 years that he's been shredding on skis. So something that I'm definitely aspiring to do in the next lifetime of mine, not hurt myself and just keep shredding all year long.
Tell me a little bit about you guys are both Montana boys. You grew up down the road in Whitefish, but now you hang out in Moonlight Basin. Scott was from up there as well. A little bit different story though. You know, he was a downhiller, thought he was going to be a downhiller. He says so in the movie. And you basically started off right away as a 9-year-old saying, I want to be a big mountain skier. It's kind of, one of the first kids of this new style generation where you skip through all the other stuff, blow by all racing, freestyle, all that stuff, and just say, I want to be a big mountain skier. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think it was definitely just a bit of my upbringing. My dad was already just doing that stuff when I was a little kid. So I just didn't try to, I just brought the little bit of youthful side into things, I think. And there's a super fun story where I think I was in 4th grade and my dad and his buddies are just like the shredders on the hill. It was super fun to have like pops I could always look up to. And he was out there shredding with some friends. They were like talking about this trip they're going to go do in Canada. They're going to go like a huge free ride trip in Canada. And I was so stoked. I was like, I want to go. He's like, maybe in a few years, Parkin, like we can make it happen, but this is just for the guys. And then I was like, well, how about a race? So we all got up onto the top of the hill and there was these 2 chair lines that are like hacked out snow all the way to the bottom of the mountain. And I told them if I could beat them to the bottom of that, then they had to take me on the trip. So I just kind of leaned back, straight lined down the mountain and impressed them enough where I ended up going on this big ski trip with all my dad's friends. And that was like first time of me really taking it to the next level, I think, back in 4th grade. So super fun.
what a great story. Your dad made you try out for his
I know, man. He was harsh. Trip. He's like, go to the gym, like crush it. You got to get strong. You got to beat us down the mountain. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, hey, great job in the movie. It's such a powerful segment. I think everyone's going to love it. And I look forward to ripping some terms with you one of these days up in Moonlight.
Yeah, man. Let's do it. Let me know when you're in town.
Okay. Thanks, Parkin.
Peace.
And special thanks to Moonlight Basin for making this possible. Don't miss the premiere of Warren Miller's Future Retro. Join me on the virtual red carpet and then let us turn your TV into the silver screen. The tradition continues. Get your tickets at warrenmiller.com.